Scola and welcome back to Motivation Monday. So today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a progress update and also sharing my numbers for the first time. So that's like my weight and my measurements and all of that good stuff. So if you guys didn't know, last week I started my very first fitness challenge of the year and it's called Luscious for Summer. It is a 4-week fitness challenge. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, make sure you go and check out that video. The link to it will be down below so that you're all caught up and you kind of know what's going on. I also have to once again say a huge thank you to Squarespace for supporting my channel. They have sponsored today's video as well. I've mentioned them in a few other videos before. And you guys know I just launched a website with my sisters called Backseat Binging and I used the Squarespace platform to do that, and honestly I'm so happy with our website, and like every day I'm going in and making little changes to make it better because honestly the platform makes it so easy just to change things up and just make your website look beautiful. So if you are looking to make your own website, start your own blog, a store, whatever it is, definitely go and check out Squarespace and go to squarespace.com/Scola to get a discount and just go and check it out. Even if you just go and do a trial and just go and see how it is and just practice building a website and just kind of have fun with it and be a bit creative. So for today's Motivation Monday, I thought it would be good to do a progress check-in because last week we started off the Luscious for Summer fitness challenge, and so last week was mostly about planning and figuring out how you're going to be sort of getting to your goal. And my goal personally in the next 4 weeks is to lose at least 5 pounds. And so I feel like that's quite a realistic goal for me personally to try to achieve in 4 weeks. We're already 1 week down, which is crazy. Honestly, I get so upset about how fast time flies during summer. Like during winter, it drags. But as soon as we get to summer, like everything just goes so fast. Like I feel like I blinked and May was over. Before I get into my progress update, I have to say who the winner of last week's challenge was, which was just to introduce yourself, share what your wish list was over in my app where the whole main challenge will be running. So if you do want to join in the challenge, make sure you download my official app so that we can all chat. There's a forum there and you can post in there and keep us updated on how you're doing. The person that ended up winning, honestly, I could not choose, so I sort of just chose at random because so many of you posted in there and it was so lovely, and I'm actually going to be getting on and replying to you all. I didn't want to reply to you guys before I chose a winner because I didn't want you guys to think like guess or see who won or whatever like that, so I waited until today. So I will be looking through all your posts and actually replying, but honestly reading through all of your posts just got me so excited and hyped for this challenge and just felt so good that so many of you guys wanted to be a part of it. So the winner of last week's challenge is Shannon. She also has an Instagram called Shan Vegan, so shout out to that. Make sure you go and check that out because she has an Instagram where she posts all food stuff, so if you need food inspiration, go and check that out. But part of Shannon's wish list was just more gym clothes and a pair of trainers because hers are getting pretty old now. So Shannon, I figured that you could win a £100 gift card from somewhere so that you can go and get the bits that you want. So I was gonna say that the gift card would be for Amazon, but obviously if you want to go for another website that you prefer, and then I can get you a gift card from there. I will be getting in touch with you on Instagram because then I can DM you and make sure that you get your prize. And I decided that I wanted to pick another winner for last week's challenge. I actually didn't find her post in the app. She might have posted, but I'm not sure because there's so many I was looking through, so I couldn't remember. And I remembered her from Instagram. She was actually the first person to use my hashtag Luscious for Summer for the challenge. I hadn't even used it yet. I hadn't even thought of using it, but she used Luscious for Summer on Instagram. Her page is called student.dietitian and she takes beautiful food pics. They're so inspiring. Like I'm just looking at it now. So you've won a £50 gift card to wherever you want that gift card, whether it's Amazon or somewhere else, to get whatever you need to help you with your healthy lifestyle. So yeah. Okay, awesome. So on to my progress update, and then at the end I'll announce what this week's challenge is. So basically I want to do a bit of a progress check-in because if you guys saw over the weekend I uploaded a video where I interviewed Dr. Dawn Harper, and it was such a good interview because I really wanted to just strip everything back and just talk about health with a professional who knows what they're talking about, and it was just so refreshing for me. I actually didn't get to include everything in that video from the interview. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, that. I'll leave a link to it down below. But the basic gist of it, the main thing a lot of people were talking about was in that video, I found out that I am obese again. And it had mixed reactions. A lot of people just found it insightful and interesting, but a lot of people just felt like it was a bit negative, because I guess the word obese is always a negative word. And I think I really want to put across, I did put in the comment section over on that video, that obese is just a medical term. It is just a medical term to describe where you're at in terms of your weight and your height, basically. So it's not very in-depth, and I know it's not accurate. We actually discussed it in the video, so that was one of the most frustrating things, because we did go into discuss in the video that BMI isn't the most like exact and accurate way of checking where you're at in terms of weight, but it's a good starting point. And that's why I always go to BMI first personally, because I feel like it's a good starting point. But I know it's not the be end all. It's not the be all and end all. Is that the saying? The be all and end all. You know, when you use a saying for the first time, you realize you actually can't say it, but you've heard so many people say it. That is me right now. But anywho, and then I also tested out my body fat percentage, and I got a number that told me that I'm actually overweight. So that was pretty interesting. And I sort of had an inkling. I knew I was like overweight, obviously, which is why I've been trying to lose weight for my health and everything. Whether I'm obese or overweight, I am not quite sure. Either way, I know that I have a very long way to go to get myself back to a place where I feel healthy and happy within myself. And that is what this whole challenge is about. That's what my whole weight loss journey is about. It is about my health and the way that I feel. And I'm trying to get away from the way that I look all the time. It's just a health thing, and I'm very passionate about health and fitness. So whilst I may have these goals, like, I wouldn't expect anybody else to have to do what I'm doing if, for example, they're the same weight as me. Like, everyone is entitled to do whatever they want with their bodies, whatever they're happy with. I just tend to be very enthusiastic about health and fitness, which is why I tend to talk about it a lot, and why I have a channel about it, because I love it, and that's why I'm on this journey. Whereas I think if it wasn't a passion of mine, I wouldn't be here, really. I wouldn't be trying to lose weight. I wouldn't be trying to be on this journey, but it's something that I find exciting, and I'm quite passionate about health in general. So that's why we're doing this. Anyway, let's do the progress update. So first of all, this morning I weighed myself in. So this morning I actually did a little video on my iPhone, because in the mornings I am not a morning person at all. So I just recorded a little thing on my phone. So basically, as you can see, stepped on the scales and then gave you a close-up shot of the actual scales, trying not to put my toes in because my toes are looking a little bit messed up at the minute. That is what you get for running way too much. When you're a runner, just forget about your feet looking nice. They just will never look nice. So my scales are actually pretty cool. So they actually run through your weight, your BMI, your fat percentage, your muscle density, which I wanted to show you guys because a lot of people in the last video were saying that obviously BMI is not very accurate because it doesn't take into account muscle density as well, but my scales do take into account muscle density as well, so that's pretty good. But obviously it's not very like accurate either. I got this scale from Vitagoods ages ago. They actually sent me through the scale, and they do some of the best scales that I've seen on the market in terms of doing like everything in one. So yeah, I love this little scale, and that is where I'm at the minute. That's my weight. I think I was around 182 point something pounds, and I don't know if there'll be a surprise to you guys. This is the first time I'm ever talking about my weight, and the reason I didn't talk about my weight ever in the last 8 years that I've been sharing my fitness journey with you guys is because when I first started, there was a huge culture of comparing yourself to somebody else. So I remember a lot of girls, especially on Tumblr, used to try to find out what somebody else's weight is and their height is, and then they would try to get there so that they could look like them. And I was always worried that that would happen, having a platform of my own, that I would talk about my height and my weight, and then people would strive to try to get to my height or weight, or compare themselves or something like that. And I didn't want that because everyone is different. Even two people with the exact same height and the exact same weight will look completely different. So don't think just because you have the same height and weight as somebody but you look the same. So I feel like that is more common knowledge nowadays, and I'll just make sure that every time I do share my height and my weight and all my other stats, that I will put a disclaimer in front of that so that everyone is aware. So yeah, it feels really weird being like really open about my numbers because I've never been that person before. But I guess it's gonna hold me really accountable because now all of you guys know how much I weigh. You guys know what my goal is. So it's gonna be one of those things where we're gonna have to do this together, and there's no way I can fake it. There's no way I can get out of it. By the way, if you guys didn't know, my goal weight is somewhere around 150 pounds. I'm not sure if that is my goal weight because it might be a bit higher. I might just go for 160 because I remember how I felt like at 160, and at 160 I think is when I did like my first half marathon and I was like killing it and still super fit and getting things done, and I like was lean and muscular, had a good muscle mass, all that good stuff. So I think that is around my aim, 160. But I am trying to lose 5 pounds in the next 4 weeks, well now 3 weeks. So I guess 5 pounds from 182 would be, Scola has to do maths. So I'm gonna be aiming to get to 177 pounds, somewhere around there. And I'm really hoping I manage to do that in the next 4 weeks. That would be amazing. I am 5'5" tall, so 5'5". I always thought I was 5'6", but when I did my personal training course a few years ago, I actually vlogged this, I believe. I found out that I was actually 5'5", and I did not believe anyone who was measuring me because I was on a course with a bunch of guys and they were such jokers, and I thought that they were actually taking the piss and I was actually taller, but they were like just moving it down and not showing me when they were moving it down. But it turns out I actually am 5'5", I believe, or like 5'5.5" or something like that, but I've just stuck to 5'5". But I do feel like a 5'6", but it's somewhere in between there, so I'm around those heights, like average height, I guess you could say. Moving on to measurements and also just like the physique. Like I say, we're not focusing on what we look like, but obviously we're all human. We want to look a certain way. I'm not going to pretend like, oh, I'm just focused on health. I don't even care how I look. Honey, let's be real together. Let's not lie together. All for focusing on my health, all that good stuff. That is my main focus. But I know the way I look is also a contributing factor. So anyway, let's get into measurements and also a physique update so we can look back at these clips and hopefully by the end of the 4 weeks we'll be able to see a little bit of a difference. So I always recommend to do progress pictures if you're looking to make any sort of physical changes like losing weight or gaining muscle, whatever. It's such a great way of actually seeing a difference in your body, not just like sort of weighing yourself or doing measurements, because sometimes those don't change, but the composition of your body can change completely. So anyway, so I'm going to be doing my measurements with you guys. So I'm going to start off with the waist, and I'm so annoyed because I really should have done this earlier in the morning, but I decided to do it after I've just eaten. But that is no excuse. I don't think there'll be too much of a change. So I might be a little bit bloated, but it should be fine. So I'm going to start off with my waist measurement, because that's somewhere I do want to see progress in. And now I'm doing my hips. So the hips, you want to do like the largest part of your hips basically. I'm not really fussed of whether I lose or gain in this area. I mean, probably could do with losing a few inches, especially if I lose some from my waist, so that'll be cool. But I really just want to tighten this area, if anything, just like get it a bit more muscular. And also going to be doing my thighs. Oh my goodness, I cannot tell you guys how much I miss my quads. You guys remember I used to always like have my quads popping, always flexing my quads. Now my quads are like non-existent, and I can't wait to get like super defined quads again. So that is like a huge goal of mine. So stronger legs is basically what I'm aiming for. And then I'm gonna do my arms as well. My arms are a place that I would love to see a bit of progress in. It's a place that I actually like took for granted a lot. I used to always say like, oh, I always have toned arms, it's really easy to tone my arms up, and then now I've lost the muscle I had in my arms. Now I'm a bit upset because gonna have to try and get that back. But if you actually don't know why I've gained weight, why I'm on another weight loss journey, I've made loads of videos on my channel about it, so I will leave links to that, but I don't want to dwell on it anymore. I've been talking so much about like my weight gain. I'm just like, bleh. Like, let's move on to the next thing. But I do find I keep having to talk about why I've gained weight because people keep pointing out, like somebody said, Scola, did you have a baby? I was like, no, I did not carry a whole human. That is not why I gained weight. But Thank you for asking. Whilst it's been really tough to come to terms with all my hard work just like flying away, I know that God always puts things in your life for a reason, always leads you down a path for a reason, and yeah, it's just the way things are, and it's quite exciting to see that. I mean, it sucks. I mean, he's always challenging me, he's always pushing me to do even more, be better, and all that good stuff, and that's what I'm doing right now. Now let's move on to what this week's challenge is. So this week's challenge is going to be called accountability. So last week was planning, so making sure you plan everything. This week is accountability. So this week I want you guys to keep yourself accountable. So what we're going to be doing to keep ourselves accountable, I want you guys to be taking pictures of everything. So I want you guys to take pictures of all your meals, take pictures of when you do your exercises, your workouts. You can put these pictures privately just for yourself. If you want to really be in the community, feel free to post them in my app in the different sections, of the forum. It doesn't have to be just the Getting Luscious forum. You can put it in any sections of the app at all. And you can post on Instagram as well and use the hashtag Luscious for summer. So you're just going to be keeping yourself accountable and making sure you're being honest with yourself. Are you really eating the way you said you would eat? Are you eating healthy, whatever that means to you? Are you exercising regularly and just keeping active? Like, this is what I want you guys to do. I'm going to be doing it too. I'm going to ramp it up a level. I want to be posting every time I do something active. Like if I go on a walk, I'm gonna take a picture of it, or I'm gonna add it to my Insta story. And if I exercise, I'm gonna tell you guys what I exercised. Yeah, I'm gonna be showing you guys my exercises. I'm gonna be taking pictures of my meals as well and putting them in the app, and just really holding myself accountable. And basically for this week, I'm gonna be choosing a winner of the person who keeps me as updated as possible. So that can be on Instagram using the Luscious for Summer hashtag, but also in the app. That's a great place to put it if you don't want to like flood anyone's timeline. Feel free to flood the app. Again, I have to say a huge thank you to Squarespace for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you head over to squarespace.com/Scola if you want to build your own website. But anyway guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay healthy, stay luscious, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.